very much looking forward to seeing these jungles picked up in the first phase. But as we are entering the pick phase, we did see the Jarvan as well join the table. The Caitlyn joined the ADC table. Renekton first pick for Rare Adam.
And a lot of teams aren't willing to let this through against either of these teams. Now, Renekton a high ban rate in the LPL, but more importantly, against TT and RA, 83% of the time, RA are not giving this over to Cube. So you can see that they latch onto it straight away in favor of losing that bottom lane. Now, Jinx is up and available. Aphelios is there as well. We know we pick and choose. I'm more curious to see if Chieftain wants to get away that Zin's out early on, making sure that Leyan doesn't get that pick as well. He's picked up second most times out of his champion pool alongside the Kiana. So I feel like this will be a nice takeaway from Chieftain. Set up that jungle, strong AD, the S tier picks right off the bat.
I will say, giving Cube the Renekton is a little bit terrifying, but I'm looking forward to the answer to it, correct? And trying to find out where TT really want to play around that. As the Jinx, huge, obviously highest priority for both these ADs, but I feel like iBoy does have some answers into it. And the answer, actually, for the second pick for TT is the Gragas.
Yeah, okay. Well, news so far, as I'm looking across, hasn't actually picked up the Gragas up in the top lane. So looking for a neutralizing answer towards Cube is interesting to me because we have such big S-tier junglers open. I guess TT are just saying, we don't care. We know that Leyan is going to play something funky. And you know what? Nidalee returns with a Renekton as well. This is what we're asking to see, Mazel. Like, if you're going to set up top lane, play towards it. If you want to play towards, you know, someone like New on the side of TT, we're like, oh yeah, play towards it. Well, RA said we know how to play towards our lanes. We're going to play towards Cube. And they set themselves up with a strong top lane that is going to be pressing for advantage.
I actually very much like that, and they get the safety in the Aphelios for the bottom lane. So as we see them drafting for the top lane, the biggest thing for us is to keep an eye, do they play towards that, or do they fall into their comfort of playing towards the bot side? The answer from TT was the Lee Sin, and I actually really much appreciate that pick into it because of the unique path you can have the Lee Sin, the mobility you have in Lee Sin, and how quick you can pick up the tempo as well. But as we go into the second phase, we got the Graves banned by TT, LeBlanc banned away by RA.
Maybe thinking that Strive is going to pilot this towards the mid lane. You know, Graves has been played mid before, especially it's China, dude. In China Super Server and solo queue, Graves mid has been a plague for 3 years. So really not surprised to see that one even piloted by people at the moment, but more importantly, banned away. LeBlanc as a response is interesting to me because we still don't have a mid lane for UCal. And so kind of going through the LCK champion pool. Another one is Zoe, but you know, I might be, you know, a garbage tier analyst, but at the moment, Zoe only piloting into certain compositions, maybe to match something like the Nidalee for the range. So it would be very specific here, Mazel, but I feel like you go again, you ban out UCal and try and make sure he's pivoted towards something quite neutral as Vex. There we go once again.
Yeah, very, very interesting and very strong pick itself being taken away. The Thresh, absolutely pivotal as a ban in the second phase for TT to take away some of that comfort and that safety in the bot lane for Yanja. But now we're looking at the potential solo lane pickup here, or the support. I would expect the support to get that counter pick, but could be looking a little bit more towards that bot lane for SouthWind.
This makes sense.
It has been crucial, and the Corki comes through.
Just what you and I were talking about. This is the third game for UCal on the Corki. We mentioned how he's pivoting towards one of these side lanes with semi-global pressure is important. And so for UCal, getting the Corki here, strong picks on the side of TT, especially with it is 12.2 better. I don't see something that doesn't make me smile. Rare Adam, how do they round this out? A big question because Yanja on the Nautilus set up a piece of engage. Create some of that space that the Nidalee and the Renekton can start pivoting and pathing around. And I would like this even more.
Yes.
If we see something like an Akali, think about the dive into the back line. Twist of Fate still hits around that, so also gets a chance to match UCal and kind of stop TT's game plan in their tracks.
And I also think that, you know, finding mobility is going to be key. Oh my goodness, they just went with double AD solo laners. Yeah. The Mad Lads at Rare Adam have done it again. They final picked tryndamere, which means we could see the Renekton into the mid lane. You know, that Nidalee Renekton mid lane combo is pretty deadly. But here you've got to expect safety to come out from TT, and they're hovering the Tahm Kench, one of the safest of them all once you hit 6 at least. But there still is that engage potential with it as well, and it's going to be locked in.
That's true. Playing what looks to be, you know, either a front to back or just utilizing the poke from Jinx, from Corki late game. Playing with the range here from TT, because I feel like if Rare Adam get the gap close here, you know, tryndamere from playing from an angle or hitting side lanes, We have Renekton, we have Nidalee as well. Even things like the Nautilus are a useful tool. If Rare Atom get on top of you, then it's all over. So I want to see how they play towards that around these first couple of objectives, Mazel. This is a comp that wants to get rolling off the bat. When you have Renekton, when you have Nidalee, you need to really pace the game and give yourself a bridge where, okay, Tryndamere is unbeatable in a split. iBoy as well on the Aphelios is going to be huge in fights. That's what you need to see. So for RA putting themselves up with a nice little timer to kick us off, and it all comes down to how Leyan wanted to start this one, dude. We have a Renekton and a Tryndamere. You just said double AD solo laners, dude. That's exactly what I want to see from RA.
Oh my goodness, it is such a treat to have this as our first game. They are putting all the eggs into the Leyan basket, and especially this top side of the map. Again, I want to reiterate though, they have drafted for this in the past, but then they end up playing around the bot lane. I would love to see them put all that focus towards the top side, get this snowball going, and transition that with iBoy in the late game. On the other side for TT, you were saying it's a little bit of that front to back, it's a little bit of here or there, but they are going to have a tall task to kind of stabilize this early game in this first matchup of this best of 3, as we are getting into the thick of things now, Hysterics. TT taking on Rare Atom in our first series of the last day in week number 5.
My man, I don't know if TT or RA are going to be at the bottom of the standings, but I do know that the loser of this is at least going to be at the bottom too. Right now, struggling to get off the ground. And I don't want to take away from your hype. It's a beautiful intro. You know, as a fellow play-by-play, I respect it. But RA are down in the dirt a little bit. They're on a
I'm ready
3,
for the
4.
knockout, drag-out fight, man. I want to see mud being flung. I want to see everything happening. You got to win this one. And especially with the way that the comps have laid out, I feel like that's kind of what we're getting.
That's true. Again, talking about the early game, this is what we want to see from Leyan. Electrocute on the Nidalee. So we have a lot of burst potential, and you have the setup up in that top side from Cube on the Renekton. Start playing towards that lane. And with Tryndamere in the mid lane as well, Mazel yesterday, I was telling you, I was casting PCS. And yesterday, guys, LPL fans, you think it's crazy here? There was literally Bard top with Smite. A mid laner playing Bard top, roaming like a Janna. As speaking of this, Mazel, TT going for an invade.
They will not spot out RA who are in the bush, and now they've got TT surrounded as they start up the Raptors. You know what? Bring it on, man. If this is how today's going to go, I love it here. All right, TT will sniff out RA, and they actually have a chance to turn around here. I think they realize that they've maybe overextended a little bit, or they just want to go for the fight. As the Sonic Wave connects, yeah. Okay, it looks like everybody's going to calm down a little bit as Chieftain did hit level 2.
I really like this invade, though, from TT. Hang on a minute, maybe I don't like it anymore.
Oh my god, SouthWind, he doesn't have anything. He's going to burn, but they don't have the range, and now Chieftain is here. Sonic Wave connects. They already burned the heal on the side of iBoy. No flashes burned yet on the bottom lane.
Okay, Mazel, I liked it from TT. Overall, despite SouthWind having to burn the exhaust there, it is a 2-for-1 summoner trade, so advantage for TT's bottom lane. I like it because you're running Lee Sin, Jinx, Tahm, Kench at level 1. Tahm Kench is such a strong level 1 champion, and you're running against Nidalee, who starts Javelin Toss, misses that, and doesn't matter. A Tryndamere and a Nautilus and a Aphelios that were dispositioned elsewhere. So a really big start here for TT, and the new member in Chieftain coming in and joining the roster now in his 3rd series. It's a really good sign of life that those communication issues we're talking about seem to have started off in a positive light for game.
At least they're all in the same mindset here. We go for the level 1 and we see what happens. But in all reality, it's going back to that matchup between Leyan and Chieftain, and the fact that Chieftain does need to kind of get in the face of Leyan and be aggressive, be a little bit of a nuisance there, and that's a wonderful way to start it off.
Stop the Nidalee from snowballing. Again, really core condition. I feel like this game can be summarized as how Leyan plays versus how TT can get it to a late game state. And again, still scaling elements on RA when you think about iBoy on the Aphelios, and you think about how Tryndamere can play sides. Right now, getting bullied out in the mid lane. But you have a Corki, you have a Jinx, you have range, and you have such a good front line in Gragas, which I am going to assume is going to be that Bimble Winter build, the full tank Gragas that comes up in the top side.
All right. So SouthWind is on a roam here. Leyan is taking the red buff, but he's going to have to get over the wall. Does have the flash available to him and gets out safely with that red buff as well. Very close call there for RA, but Strive getting punished himself as all of RA have to kind of run away from the situation.
So not really getting a chance to, you know, go over. I see how hard it is a color caster. As play-by-plays, dude, all we have to do is be like, there's action, it's LPL, I know what to do.
My idea of just double play-by-play would have been beautiful for this situation. Just saying.
Too much. Hey, today is my day off. It's like I'm in Hawaii. It's new. Holy moly's damage.
Yeah, that cube is almost turned into a pair of boots there.
So I want to come back quickly while we have a bit of a lull. What I was saying before is that TT want to quell out the storm. And right now, Chieftain, with his early jungle start, is absolutely massive. That's why RA, an early dive without Strive's ulti is going to be huge if they pull it off.
Yeah, you thought you got a chance to talk. It is not going to be so. Yayanja has to flash away, and the dive will not succeed.
Oh,
a little bit mismanaged there by RA.
You're diving a Tahm, Kench, and a Jinx with Chompers as well, not without the Tryndamere ulti. I don't know what you do as New and Cube. We just keep panning the camera up towards the top side while we see a failed dive at the bottom lane. I'm not liking this early game at all, Mazel. Like, RA might not be behind a goal, but I don't know what you say when you're being out jungled here in the early path by Chieftain, and you're trying to get the ball in motion, but TT is still getting away with just gathering their lane.
Yeah, and that bot lane is going to be very, very difficult to do anything with, so it has to be this mid lane or the top lane, and we just haven't been able to see that because of that early shenanigans that Chieftain was able to accomplish with the team, because it kind of felt like RA have been off kilter since then, a little bit all over the place. And as we saw that, you know, SouthWind getting the nice roam timing, getting out on the map, that is integral for TT.
Yeah, it really is. Again, SouthWind level 2 Tahm Kench. What a chat move. Been moving around, and this is why we see Tahm Kench is just such a great pick. Early levels, his damage access is unbelievable for a support. And, you know, that knock-up, that crowd control comes in quite clutch, especially when you're going up against champions like Leyan, who had to burn the flash, can be vulnerable if he gets caught out again. Gonna pause a minute, Dominus top side.
Yeah, level 6 was achieved by Cube over New. Trying to use that to his advantage, but won't necessarily find it just yet. Another big combo that we haven't seen really come together just yet, and speaking of, it's going to come together now, is Cube and Leyan on this Nidalee Renekton. That's the tried and true combo. You land the stun into the spear, and it's an easy execution. See if they can capitalize on that here. The spear does go wide.
But it doesn't matter. New is proxied back in his wave. Chieftain can't defend this. His Strive is now level 6 and threatening away the Raptors. It connects.
Javelin. It connects on the Chieftain. Chieftain taking a ton of damage. Doesn't have the Dragon Rage kick either. Gets brought down to about 200 health. And RA will continue to be aggressive.
Okay, dude. You've said aggressive a couple of times, and I agree. Even though there's no kill, it has been in a really aggressive early game and a nice setback for the top lane. When Cube was already ahead by 20 CS, but now it's bridging even further. No plates taken, but Cube uses the Dominus, adds more lane pressure. New still yet to hit level 6. Look at the CS differential top, and now Leyan's like, yep, I'm going to keep playing towards it and try and get Cube further ahead.
See if they can. So I would like to see a little bit more going towards this top side for RA, try and get Cube really unlocked on the Renekton, be that real big menace later on, and seem like New takes a little bit of the bait. Leyan will show his face, lands the javelin, and now New in a bit of trouble. They're also bringing Strive up here, and New realizes what kind of trouble he is in. Already using the cast, doesn't really have anything else, and there's the combo. The body slam back, though, still executed by RA.
Cube was tanking up the turret. Beautiful to watch there, even though diving a Gragas at level 6 has gone so badly for so many teams in all regions. That was a well-executed dive by RA, and the condition we sought after while TT trade for Dragon, opening up this top side, Nidalee playing towards the Renekton. Cube and Leyan unlocked a 40 CS differential and a first blood going over to the Nidalee jungle, who had a very late start due to Chieftain.
It's been a very big push and pull here between the jungles, and rightfully so as a key piece to the matchups that we were talking about. But I do want to check back in on UCal and Strive. Not a lot of movement in this mid lane, even though we were saying, you know, will we see that aggression tempered at all by Strive? Will we see anything from UCal in the movement to the side lanes? But right now they're just fine farming it up. And I think as a stage setting right now, in the way that the game has been going, they're perfectly fine with that. They're just letting Chieftain and Leyan have as much fun as they want.
That's right. As long as the game doesn't run too far away. Leyan spotted out on his red buff. Sonic Wave not connecting, but rather it was Chieftain who was spotted there. UCal has package.
Yeah, they're going to pull the trigger on that. I don't know. It was a little bit overzealous there by UCal, but they just wanted to utilize it.
I guess, yeah, timing out. UCal picked it up almost 50 seconds ago now, or let's say 45 to be safe. Herald was up, and TT didn't want to pivot up towards that top side. It was even SouthWind making the move, and I thought they'd go and try and start it off, Mazel. But now the package is down. That's a huge tool. That's something that RA, I think, can contest here, already starting up the Herald themselves.
On the Herald here, he walked by Chieftain there as well, just starting his red buff. So this will be the first objective for RA, as TT had already taken the first dragon of the game. But until then, we'll see iBoy all on his lonesome as the roam came out from Yanja as well, trying to just get working with the team. And meanwhile, in the top side of the jungle, Cube already ward hopping out is Chieftain though. So quick response there from TT's jungle.
And I feel like, I'm not one to call it, but this feels like a bit of macro mismanaged here from TT. The fact that you're a team that, you know, has package available, can play towards the Herald after getting the dragon resetting, top side's losing so badly. Chieftain trying to alleviate the pressure up top, spotted on a wall, they know he's passing. It feels like RA just getting away with everything now.
The flash from Yanja onto Puff. I don't know if it's going to be enough damage, though. Puff is burning, but they don't have the range just yet. iBoy on the Calibrum, but SouthWind will be able to body block for him. Has the thick skin, has the flash, though, from that dredge line.
That's 4 summoners. iBoy literally, we just watched him get turret plating bot while Herald was being taken by RA. They've now taken 4 summoners off Puff and SouthWind. The lane that we said, oh, feels like the strongest on TT. It's a 2k gold lead.
No, not
and
him.
here's Leyan again.
Come on, Leyan, just leave him alone. He doesn't need this. He has his own goals and his own things he wants to deal with. Okay, Yanja might have overextended on the other side now, though. As you were so focused on the top side, Yanja will die to the Mega Death Rocket. Puff gets on the board for his first kill.
Well, that's something, isn't it? When top's diving once again, and your jungler's there, you're like, I might get some deep vision at this time. But overall, RA, it's still a win. You lose the support to a bit of a flimsy move. More importantly, Herald's going to get a double charge. I wouldn't be surprised if we get close to getting a second turret. 3,000 gold lead, Mazel. RA have snowballed this early game. They've hit the condition that we talked about, and it hasn't even been on the back of mid lane moving. Mid lane has just been a farm fest. It's been all about Leyan and Cube.
My brain is broken right now. Like, we're at 11 minutes. I feel like I've been casting, like, team fight after team fight, but it's only 1-1 in the game. We have, like, a 3,000 gold lead for RA. This has been an insane game so far, and we're not even close to being done just yet as Chieftain highlighting over the mid lane. We do have Dragon spawning in about a minute, and TT, they've got to get the stacking going as a win condition.
I want to look at the item power spikes, though, and I want to see Cube here with teleport from that top lane.
War Drinker completed.
There we go. So also on Leyan, he's gone the Protobell build, nothing like the Night Harvester. I think we've even seen like an Everfrost Nidalee in the LPL. Lots of variations to build, but nevertheless, he's going to have a huge spike, ability to close the gap on this team. We did talk about RA getting on top of TT in these fights, and around these objectives, TT get caught out. The same applies. They're weaker right now in terms of items, and RA, with how strong they are, definitely want to get this dragon to stop TT from stacking it up and building a bridge to make it ever so slightly easier to get to that mid lane game.
And really quick, I mean, the item differential is going to be huge. If RA want to fight this, they are in the right. They have 3 completed mythics and none completed on the other side for TT before this dragon spawns. So Chieftain is down here. They can't look for a 3v3. I don't know if that's something they necessarily want to take, Hysterics.
Oh, yeah, not if SouthWind gets landed with the spear again. Leyan's starting to hit him all the time. So Dragon will just be started on full ward coverage. Chieftain sticks around, and I guess it is just going to be a 1-for-1 objective. And so for RA, again, you're happy as Larry at this point. You're doing exactly what you need to in the early game.
I was looking, I was like, iBoy, there's no way he's going to go the long way around there.
Turning.
Is he? Oh, the wonderful gobble up from SouthWind, though, gets Chieftain out from that Moonlight Vigil.
So, a nice little turn. But for TT, just looking for an opportunity to try and push something onto Puff and SouthWind. I like that Chieftain has made his response, now realizing that, yeah, top's an open lane and has been for the past 5-6 minutes, where use the Gragas, he's just going to want to try and get as much farm as he can and stack up a couple of items. It's a tank Gragas top. He doesn't really win that many matchups, but he's able to quell them out. So we'll see how far he gets along. As we look at the replay here, oh my God, Mazel, I have to do this. This is not me.
You know, I thought that, like, iBoy would take the easy path because I saw Chieftain down there. Obviously, we have 20/20 vision in this situation, but it's iBoy just taking the confident path there. Luckily, he got out with the flash, but it was almost disaster for RA's bottom lane.
Yeah. But they're coming back to it. Dragon was already taken. Next objective up is going to be the Rift Herald in about a minute 15. TT posturing in River Dredgeline.
Yuyanja goes in completely. Leyan's the only one there really to defend against anything. Yuyanja goes golden, does not die until just now. Puff gets the kill. He's excited now, but Cube has shown up with the dominance. They're all put into a fish in a barrel type situation, but iBoy can't land any damage just yet. RA back away as TT get a kill for it.
What the heck? I mean, there's a lot of ults expended, and yeah, Explosive Cask and Dominus both used to no fruition. As TT going to use his advantage to get the inside track on a mid, the minion wave there. Wave clear depending on iBoy, but he doesn't have Infernum. Cube able to step up and do the rest. So for RA, they defend mid lane turret, but you can kind of see how if TT are able to play the space, as the game progresses on, they'll be able to deal with people like RA and build some much needed distance to try and get away. So turret trade going on here, Mazel, while I ramble away. A 1-for-1, but still good for TT.
Yeah, not bad. Package was utilized by UCal there, unfortunately on the timing just a little bit, but able to get that mid lane tower, so it makes it all work. Their first tower of the game, and relieves a little bit of the pressure in mid lane as Chieftain got real close to getting stopped there, but he will not do so. We get the actual reset from TT. Nice timing from them.
Yeah, it is. Leyan with another objective under his belt. And I kind of want to check in at 15 minutes as to what's gonna happen next, right? We've got an elongated lane up in that top side. Bottom side turrets opened up as well. And I feel like because of this, RA able to get some deep vision into the top side jungle. Strive is just taking red at the moment. SouthWind trying to be a nuisance, and he steals it.
Oh, SouthWind got it. Nice.
Okay,
the Rift Herald does go down to Leyan, though.
Yeah, look, hey, you take the wins we can get it. As we talked about, TT just want to scale into this game. That's why the Gragas pick, again, we're talking about how far behind he is, and even against the Renekton matchup, I have to clarify. We know how Gragas does with Renekton. It's seemingly a pretty good lane, but all Renekton needs is momentum, and that jungle camp up in the top side. People might be looking at New and being like, oh, you know, New's really fumbled it. Leyan playing the lane pretty well, and so was Cube with the lane state itself. Yuyanja with a dredge line.
Yuyanja not following it up there. They just have Cube around the corner. And it's just some flexing. Oh my god. TT want to go in. They're TP. They got the Dragon Raid kick on the Cube. They want to commit to this fight, but Cube is pretty tanky. Is he going to make it out? The Dominus is popped, and he's starting to stack up. Yuyanja had the depth charge to help him out, and Cube makes it out. And meanwhile, in the top side of the map, we're getting a 2v2. SouthWind and Puff running away from Leyan and iBoy.
SouthWind just using his flash off a cooldown this game. I mean, honestly. Either caught out or setting up the plays. It feels like there's no in between. For RA, this has happened a couple of times. Yuyanja going in when, you know, maybe not all comfortable. The third time and manages to get out. Cube does the same, but I'm kind of surprised that Cube wasn't able to take down Chieftain, but I realized he does have a gold drinker as well.
It was Puff. It was Puff that started that.
Okay. All right.
Gale force forward onto iBoy.
So it makes sense, dude. It makes sense. All right. Well, I don't know. At this point, I'm not too surprised. iBoy getting caught out tell me something less iconic in the LPL. And that's not BM towards him. We're realistic. iBoy can have huge pop-off performances, but caught out in rotation is such a him thing to do. As a Herald gets put down, I'll bring you back to the game, Mazel, because RA trying to open mid-turret right before Dragon. It is a Hextech Dragon as well. So.
Yeah, it is. Super high priority on that one for sure. And especially to take away that win condition from TT, right? Like, TT obviously wanted to get this Dragon stacking going. Second Dragon didn't go their way. You get another one for RA, it puts it back even further. I think that's huge for them. But you see TT definitely put some more priority here as UCal timed that package pickup perfectly, and they have the tools to the trade now.
Want to see him with the package window here. iBoy a crucial target. Cube someone you just have to watch out for. Even Leyan, enemy jungler with a big item as Strive has his ultimate available, and he's on a flank. I want to see how this works out.
The Javelin does not connect, but the Dragon getting oh so low. It resets here. Chieftain goes into it here, but big engage from New. The Dragon secured by TT. Now they turn on to Strive. The package utilized Strive. making it out for just a little bit longer. Has to pop the Undying Rage. Big Javelin connect into the Moonlight Vigil, into the AoE, but TT make it out. Now Yuyanja trying to get the engage there with the depth charge. They can't get the damage on, but New finally dies, and now you have Cube kicked away by the Dragon Rage kick. iBoy going in. He has the Infernum, he has the AoE, but he can't get them. The Abyssal Dive comes through, but they re-engage from Yuyanja. It's all over the place, and it's all purple and black. RA wipe the floor with TT. That's an ace.
That is an ace, and that was an interesting fight. You can't say the LPL doesn't entertain you. When it looks like TT are going to get the Dragon, get out, and find a pick on the Strive, the tryndamere, who did pretty much nothing at the start of the fight, they stick around for too long, and TT get punished hard. Rare Atom, not only they snowballed the early game, they've taken the most brilliant fight that was hand-gifted to them on a platter. Every year, only once a year, you get a Christmas turkey. But it looks like for RA, that's come a little bit early as we go into the replay now. Mazel, I'll say one thing. We saw a really good explosive cast from you. I like this. Package used on the backside into Strive. And for RA right now, okay, they're forcing someone, but TT channel into a choke with iBoy's ulti dusting them off against the Renekton, against a depth charge. Yuyanja flushes forward to get the depth charge onto Puff the backline, slows down TT's movement out of there, and they're just trying to disengage. We talked about RA in the draft needing to get on top of TT. That was a huge condition. They can close the gap so easily, and when TT are put in a corner, RA died so simply. QB's that gold lead as well.
That blind hook from Yuyanja into the bush, like they knew they were there, but it just had to land on Puff, didn't it? Like it was just out of all the people that were in that bush, it was had to be Puff. And TT definitely going to want that one back. But my goodness, what a fight. We were so tightly knit. It was like 1-to-1. We were having fights everywhere, no blood, and now we get a full ace at like sub 20 minutes for RA, and they have exploded, literally, that gold lead. 8,000 now, Hysterics.
Oh, dude, and 2 items on 3 out of 4 people. I mean, I'm looking at iBoy next.
Did he get that? Oh, yeah, Leyan.
He did.
He deserves the attention for that. That's bullying, all right?
He's bounced back really nicely in this game. You got to give it to Leyan. The options up at the top side presented themselves. You know, we need some bigger brains to talk about wave management, but from what I could see, Cube luring you into the wave. He was behind CS just in the 1v1 matchup. But then Leyan uses that opportunity, gets off some easy dives, and Chieftain can't shadow. He's busy in the bottom side jungle looking for opportunities onto iBoy and Yuyanja. And it feels like RA knew the game plan coming into this, that it was all about that top lane. We actually got to see Nidalee Renekton played out to really well standards. So it's ballooned off this Mazel, and with the huge gold lead, that fight comes off the back of it. I don't know what you do now as TT. You have to make the game go as long as possible and just hope that, you know, New gets his second, third item. We want UCal with his Ludens as well. Start putting down damage and hope that the package is at a point where you are a bit stronger and can see RA falling off, but that's going to be a hell of a long way away.
This is the problem. The RA don't want to let you do anything. They're saying, no, we don't want to give you a moment to catch your breath. Why would we ever do that? We're going to start the Baron right now.
Have the right guns as well. You have green and white, which makes it all right, and Cube zoning them off. A level 13 Croc. I don't know what you do. TP from TT.
TT are getting a little bit desperate here. They want to go for the fight. Yuyanja caught on the side here. He's just dragged out. The Baron still alive here. They haven't gotten it yet. What? Chieftain's in the pin now. They have left the Baron, and Chieftain secures it. Strive is in the team fight, though, and iBoy still alive there as well. Strive going forward with Gale Force. Backs away now as New and the rest of TT also call it quits on the fight. I cannot believe TT just made it out with that steal.
What the hell? RA stop aggroing the Baron because they're expecting Chieftain to come in, but instead of shot calling to saying, okay, let's finish it off, they wait, they all pull off, but it hasn't de-aggroed. What the hell? Why can't I swear on this broadcast? Let's have a look. So, Yuyanja is buying space. Wants to make sure Chieftain's not there. He targets UCal instead of Chieftain, which I never think is the right call. And RA are pulled out in front of the Baron pit while you have a Lee Sin who has an execute on Q and Smite. Getting an objective bout. I don't know.
New was huge in that. And the body slam, the cast, everything to get Leyan out of the pit, and he just didn't have the range to catch back up. And big turnaround for TT now as UCal uses the package forward. They're on to iBoy as well. They've got the key target. no way TT are about to turn this around. Yuyanja dies, and you thought you had an 8,000 gold lead, but now it is shrinking ever so slightly as TT take hold. Abyssal dive forward on the Leyan. This would be another big shutdown. He goes gold, and Cube is there to try to save him, but is it going to be enough? He dies, and now Cube, the Crocodilian's finally going to be made into boots, is under tower, but it doesn't matter. He's going golden, and it's just buying time as TT have won consecutive fights, and even if Strive gets the dragon, TT are taking the bait.
I don't know who the paid actor is, but they're playing the role as well as Denzel Washington, an American gangster right now. If RA didn't show you the first time in front of that Baron as to what kind of team they can be.
2,000! The lead is only 2,000 right now. How did we go from 8+K in like 3 minutes?
I don't know, dude. I don't know how this game was happened like this. It was so easy for RA. Baron throws it all away. It's only 24 minutes into the game as well. And now the fact that TT are back in near the gold lead is huge. We'll have a look at this again because R8 looks like they're clearing out to the deep vision towards Dragon spawning. But iBoy just on the wing. And Cube and Leyan going deep with that. I mean, Yuyanja is the same old story. Wrong place at the wrong time. Again, guys, we didn't get to see setup because we were in the middle of a replay as this happened, but Rare Adam just caught out with their pants down once again, and with objective bounty on top of this, and with the fight just being picked off piece by piece by piece, it looks so easy for TT to get back into the game, which they've done. Objective bounties are now done with how much gold they've reclaimed.
It's actually crazy. They just consecutively cleared so many of the bounties, starting with the Baron. And ever since then, it's right back to it. You know, it was very one-sided for the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of this game. But now it is just like any other LPL game. We are neck and neck with blood everywhere. And we still have a fight on our hands as TT now, the ones with the feelings of confidence, are moving towards this top side of the map to try and get some more objectives.
And I don't know how to talk about this game anymore, my dude. Whoever walks into who with smaller numbers will win. At this point, there's going to be something that a lot of analysts around the world will talk about, which is draft difference, which is, you know, a lot of the time when you see comps like this, you see Jinx, Corki, with how they play into the later game stages, especially with the frontline that they have and how the draft set up for TT, it feels like the gold is even in their advantage at this point. Control being given over. They have the map state under their wing. New just reacting with his bottom side wave, but he has TP. I like that Leyan angling for the fishing hooks as Strive swaps the ulti just in case.
The level of execution needed for RA's composition is so much higher than TT's, right? You're seeing it here. The javelins have to connect. You have to hit some of this poke before you can engage the fight. Whereas TT are fine taking the brunt of that, and if they catch you out, you're dead.
Run. And right now, TT continue poking down. I mean, RA running out of options. New just got a solo turret, and there's a tryndamere in the game. Like, Strive has a bounty, but there's real no side lane pressure here. TT have fought back up even in gold. I want to see if this is actually 1v1.
Strive taking his time to take down New. The wet noodles going at it, or I guess New trying to defend. What? No, I thought it was said and done. I thought he got it. No, New turns it around. And now he's got to try to make it out as the Hex Gate is going to bring Leyan a little bit closer here. New saving Private New on his own here in the alcove. Will actually just make it away as he starts to back.
He's out, dude. Again, that's why I said Strive had no ulti. But first coming through from Ultimate of New and Q. I think we gotta get that again. Because, I don't know, yeah, it looks Strive bait, but he's not doing much damage. But each little grasp comes through, ulti does a little bit, tries to disengage. Is it grasp?
Oh my god, the body slam!
It's Chem Tank. It's Chem Tank that does it, Mazel.
Oh, that
Chem
feels
Tank
so
OP.
bad for Strive. Oh my goodness. Well, New winning out in that one continues to get this to where TT now are in the lead. This gold grab is going to be something else. Everybody get your screenshots ready because TT have made the comeback now.
Yeah, somehow, some way. Baron in 10 seconds to Mazel. TT in such a good position. You can see how confident they are now. With those 3 items on UCal, on Puff as well. Stopwatch on both of the carries. Frontline actually being able to react to a lot of the burst damage. I mean, Leyan has to get past New. He has to get past SouthWind. And there's a package on UCal as well. I don't know how RA get in, but it's going to be with force.
And the scaling is just getting so ridiculous right now for TT. The early snowball that RA has where they needed to kind of finish up the game is no longer existing. Let's see if they can turn around the fight now, though. SouthWind almost dead. Thick Skin is going to save him, though. Big package from UCal. iBoy tries to get damage back here. Strive on the backside of the fight now has the flank, and they're going in on the back line. But you've got a completely split fight here. Leyan on the side as SouthWind dies. Cube finds the kill, and TT are scattered here, and they lose out on the fight, which means RA take place and start the Baron.
I don't even know how Lyric, Dagger, or Orcs would do this, but Jesus. TT, you're right, split apart. UCal gonna find Strive here. So he does go down, but there's gonna be Baron on 4 members in a game where RA, it just felt like, okay, they're at the point of getting outscaled. They've thrown away so much of their gold advantage. TT still can do the same thing, apparently.
I'm just gonna keep yelling at video games here.
Go again.
We have Cube getting engaged up by New. He's still tanky boy. He's not gonna take much damage there as UCal is the damage dealer behind New as Dragon started up by RA. This is the 3rd Dragon, sole point for them, and will be secured easily as New steps into the pit.
Well, okay. Sole point for RA. Going back in their favor. I still prefer TT because of how this game plays out. Nidalee, Renekton, you're up against the Gragas. Maybe it doesn't matter, honestly. Even me trying to analyze it doesn't matter. Like the ulti here from Yuyan puts UCal into the stopwatch we talked about. iBoy's ulti gets a lot of credit, but TT are like, which direction do we go? They spot out Strive on the wing, Cube on the other side as well. So I think the credit to RA to get this pitch off when Strive in these teamfights hasn't really done that much, but you know, kind of capitalizing on the fact that TT just didn't have an angle to escape and get out once they knew that SouthWind was low and the fight was getting collapsed on itself.
TT themselves heavily relying on Puff and UCal in this to be the backbone of TT. The engages are going to have to be there, but you've got to feel for UCal and Puff. Now that Cube is sitting at 5-1, he has GA. He's looking mighty strong on the Crocodilian. So you got to be real careful when those engages come through. As you said, there's so many angles that RA can attack from. Puff gets half his health taken out just by that Inferno.
And let's be realistic, you know, Puff shouldn't be taking that much damage. We have SouthWind, of course, Ultimate now for saving grace, but Chieftain new, people that can step in front. So Puff should have a nice, decent front line, but I'm going to question less about what we're seeing from TT, more about RA with the split here. Top side eventually pushing out as well, and these 2 lanes that are being set up with iBoy, who doesn't have teleport.
Oh my god.
USC.
Just
but the
from
poke.
the Inferno turret. That's
Look
so
at the
much damage.
Dude, it's insane.
God.
They have to respect Leyan. He pops out Chieftain, and these hooks that keep landing, these spears that keep flying through, make it so that TT just have to reset and lose out on more objectives.
I feel like I've got a little bit of whiplash here. We've been all over the place. We've got every iteration of a fight here in this one, and now we get TT's iteration as they've already got one. Puff is now excited. RA turn tails and run.
Here we go.
Trying to separate it, but here we go into the fight. iBoy is dead. Now Strive trying to make something happen. He is undying, but not for long. He's got 5 members of TT on him. The death timers are so long here, Hysterics, but can TT do anything about it? It is the Hex deck rip, so they've got a lot of speed around the map, and they're going to catch Cube here.
Well, he's got a slice and dice trade.
No, Chieftain wants it. Chieftain wants it so bad.
He'll be able to slow with the Tempest Cripple. Puff needs a zap, finds it.
Oh my god. Cube gets out with a little slice of dice there, slowly but surely. Chieftain escorting him into the base there, but still TT focusing on the minions to try to barrel down this mid lane, get this inhib unlocked.
Well, inhib, but won't be the game. There's 3 people up the line for RA. They're going for, but they're just taking the Hex Gate to get out of this. I like this. Let's not be greedy. And Mazel, again, like, the sieging was great from RA. The poke huge. But when TT are able to get the engage off, like, New here is someone I want to watch. They go on it. Now, Yuyan just hook. That would make me grumpy as a teammate. He gets blasted out straight away. But New, with a sick flash over Cube, gets past the front line. Explosive cast, gorgeous. And he does. And Puff uses Gale Force away from Cube. Now the Renekton can't do anything in the fight. And Strive kind of the same on this tryndamere. And it feels like when TT get their front to back that we talked about, with their huge amounts of scaling, putting out damage in Puff, in UCal, it's as easy as that. So on the defense, TT bring back the game. Now, I don't know who's actually going to win this one out. I think we've had more throws than you guys get in like your Major League Baseball, but boy, oh boy.
I was hoping for an American football reference, but I'll take it.
Dude, the fact it was American at all was, I think, kind of impressive. I'd say in an innings of, you know, the Ashes. Or like the Big Bash on a Saturday night, all right? Keep it more local, for those wondering.
Keep it more local. I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking up for us.
So,
but we do still have... we have some time here. Okay, what do you got?
I need to come in because it doesn't matter. Screw analysis, dude.
Screw
Whoever throws next is probably going to lose the game. Because at this point, we have open inhibitors on both sides. Both through the mid lane. Open inhibitor ready to be taken to the bottom side for TT. And this dragon, you're talking about it all game long. We've got a Hex Tech dragon, a soul that RA can get. I don't even think that'll make a difference. I think Elder's like what would make a difference in this game. So even if you lose this, I'm not calling it yet.
Really quick, Strive is on top side of the map. No TP to join the fight. So RA are committing to this style, committing to the side lane push here where they try to capitalize on the mid lane. UCal has package available to them.
I was going to say, they don't, for TT, they're okay if they pick up this drag. RA are fine if they pick this up because against package, with the way the fight's going, Strive is putting pressure on mid and top. And this is kind of what we wanted to see around the dragon fights before from the tryndamere, but this time around, at the very least, playing towards it, an RA numbers disadvantage.
Package utilized by UCal trying to get over to Strive, but just poking back and forth right now are both teams. Cube stepping forward with the slice and dice. As now New coming in here as he finally got to clear that side lane push, but we're just getting the classic 5v5 standoff in mid lane.
Yeah, and with Baron spawning now though, so what I want to see is how RA kind of approach this. Remember that a lot of pick potential here with Yuya and Jar at the helm. Leyan's damage massive.
They've got Strive completely caught here. Let's see if New can get to
Flash Ghost.
Yeah, I was going to say Ghost is popped by Strive, but is it going to be enough? They have everybody down here. Undying Rage will be popped, and they have the rest of the team coming up here as well. Strive making it out for a second. Dodges the Sonic Wave and survives. The death timers are so huge, so just the fact that he made it out is absolutely monumental. And now RA moving back into the jungle. Get their health bars poked heavily. And now UCal, he overextends a little bit, going over the wall. He goes golden. Moonlight Vigil will not connect, but the depth charge will. It will be devoured instantly onto UCal, and now it's Puff getting excited here on the Jinx. Abyssal Dive going forward on the Cube. They catch the zap. Is it enough to catch Cube, though? Again, we're into the yakety sacks here. Strive now trying to run away from the top side of the map as he almost got the inhib tower. Is he going to die this time? No Undying Rage as UCal connects the rocket. Does not get him yet. Oh no, Leyan. There's the TP coming in from New onto the other side of Strive here. Oh, what is that? What? iBoy's just caught. All right, well, that happened, and iBoy gets caught in the wish-wash of whatever we just saw.
The frickin' LPL, that's what happened there. Leyan now. You know what? He's going to steal this Baron Mazel. Just wait.
I believe TT 5 strong here, but they about to go for the fight as UCal has joined. The Cube goes in a little bit overzealously as he's all by himself, healing up a little bit more. The Baron will fall, and now RA took that moment to take the fight, but they've got to run. They've got 5 members of TT right behind him. New does not get the slow on Cube, and TT make it out with the Baron yet again.
Oh, where are we going to start on this one? There's a replay coming, and I don't want to talk about it. I just, you know, I don't want people to think I'm negative, right? You know, coming in today, who am I to talk about these plays? But what we have seen, as Mazel's already said, has been the yakety sacks of yakety sacks. We go back to Strive being caught out. Like, Strive being caught out, burning everything from Rare Adam. So they're down a member. No Ghost, no Flash, no Undying Rage. But then RA's audacity to walk through that choke against TT with a Corki, Jinx, Tahm, Kench, Gragas. UCal almost even griefs it, but goes over and stopwatches. Wait, we're probably not going to get a replay because they have Baron, but I just don't know. I think somebody needs dinner. They need their dinner. They need to relax. What's happening now?
They use the ultis from iBoy, Uyanja, and now Cube is in the back of everybody. He's all by himself. Can he get the Gore Drinker off? He's buying so much time. And now RA have iBoy into the fight. He's got the Infernum. He's got the damage. And TT, they can't turn it around. Or can they? Puff has the Mega Death Rocket. Puff is excited. It's an iBoy versus Puff matchup. And Puff is on fire. He's going to get one more into Cube. He's going to clean house. And that's a triple kill for you, Cal. But Puff is making it happen. Strive barely making it out alive, but Puff will not chase him down. What a fight from TT. He finally does. And that's a clean ace as TT take the fight.
And they're going to take the game by the looks of it as well. They got the Baron buff for 2 members and the 2 core carries where we talked about late game spiking. Not even passed online, man. They've been at 100 gigabytes download for the longest time. Puff and UCal running straight down mid, Mazel, as this is how this one ends.
I can't believe this is where it all comes to an end. 40 minutes into the game, TT win a fight. They come back from an incredible goal deficit, and they take game 1 of this first series of the night.
What that game was cannot be explained by anyone in this chat, in whether you're watching YouTube, Twitch, or anywhere else. All you can say is that was a barn burner. That was a doozy. That was yakety sack. That was a bloody fiesta. That game delivered on every metric except maybe quality gameplay at certain points. So, you know, you got to give it to TT holding their guns. And we talked about this in draft. From my limited understanding was, you know, it's easy for them past 30 minutes into the game. How they scale into this one. A simple front to back with great poke utilizing the range. A crazy game, but, you know, with so many team fights where RA are like, you know what? We want to get somewhere faster. We're going to take this pathing. People like iBoy getting caught out. People like,
look at that. I can't look at the screen right now. I just can't. Look at that gold lead. Holy cow. I want to go hiking on that gold grab.
Dude, 8,500 gold. Mazel, 8,500 gold.
And then they got the lead back. They came back into it with like a 4,000 gold lead, and then they lost the game. Wow.
It's
Look at that. You can look at that UCal damage. Almost 50,000 damage on the Corki.
I mean, my most impressive stat is Leyan's damage from the early game, right? When we see the spears he was doing, it's a Corki, it's a Jinx, you know, even Aphelios, the same deal. But Leyan did a lot of heavy lifting in the early game, and then RA, that throw was massive. And people out there being like, oh, you know, well, they got outscaled. At that point, no way. We were 1.5 items in. RA was so strong.
Yeah.
And from there, transitioning to mid-game, they just got caught out. They just had a massive throw. It was such a big throw.
It comes back to that bar of execution, right, that I wanted to bring up. It was us setting up. The early game has to be executed on beautifully, and you have to snowball that into a victory. Well, they started to, but the snowball never continued. It just stopped as TT were able to kind of hold on and stabilize. But that's where, you know, it's more on the side of RA on how do you kind of transition that. Is there a better executable composition instead of having to rely on the javelins, which in late game are so unreliable? You don't have that reliability in the team fights like TT had.
It's not even that. It's not just that, I should say. Excuse me, with the poke coming through, you know, outside of that, Cube was in a lead. Strive should have had control of the solo lanes as well, even having a bounty. So I think there's a lot of elements in RA's composition that they couldn't piece together. And again, that transition, that throw was massive and just gave TT's opportunity in their scaling comp to come back in and play an easy mid to late.
Well, we'll have to see what that comeback is like from RA, if they can bounce back from that mentally tough game, as we're going to be getting ready for game number 2 of this first series of the night. So don't go anywhere.